going on, guys? MG here, and I'm pleased to bring you a Let's Play of Dead Rising 2. In this playthrough, we will be playing the PC version. Back in the days, I played on the 360. Lots of good times, lots of blood, sweat, and tears, so let's get it.
Hey! You're on in 2 minutes, Mr. Green.
My name's Chuck.
Yeah. Look, I need you to sign this release form before you go out there. Oh, and, don't forget to include your next of kin.
Her name is Katey. Can you take her somewhere safe?
Yeah, I'll take her to the green room.
Go with the nice man, Katey. Don't worry. I won't be long.
Hey, buddy. I heard you lost your wife in Vegas. I guess you suck at killing zombies, otherwise she'd still be around!
Save it for the show, shithead.
Zombies took our Willamette. They took our Las Vegas. But tonight, America, we're going to get a little payback. It's time for America's most dangerous game show. It's time for Terror is Reality! And here's your host, Tyrone King!
Well, America, are you hungry for a little terror? Because tonight, we're gonna give it to you. I've been poking these zombies all week, and man, are they pissed. Our contestants are almost ready, so let's send them a little message. You gotta be willing to risk it all if you're ever really gonna...
Alright, so this next segment is very interesting. Essentially, you just have to fucking drive through these zombos and cut them down and gain as many points as possible. And if you notice those zombos with the pink ball around them, if you drive through that, it will create a AoE splash damage, and you will triplicate your points that you gain. And what's really interesting about this this game here, Terror's Reality, it's actually something that you could play online, and the prize money that you win from this little mini game here, you can actually use the money in your main game, which is really cool. You know, honestly, back in the days, I didn't really do much of Terror Online. I mostly just focused on single player. The same goes with co-op. I wish I had someone to co-op with back in the days, and by back in the days, I actually mean 10 years ago, guys. Can you fucking believe it? 2010. Time flies. Damn.
Alright, let's wipe them off and hose them down. Let me hear it, people! And show some love for our winner tonight. He's a hero. He's a survivor. He's Chuck Reed. He risked it all, and now he's taking home the big money.
I was hoping for a better ride from you, Chuck. But maybe you just don't know how to handle the tight curves.
But we just getting started, people. The carnage is just beginning. So right now, let me hear you make some noise.
Veterinarians are looking into the problem and have been examining the diets on different farms. This seems to have only compounded the problems which have been linked to the beef shortage in local areas. The zombie rights group CURE is in the news again. The protest group has shown up in the adult playground of Fortune City, which was chosen as the site of the latest installment of the pay-per-view game show, Terror is Reality. The protest just compounds the problems of the game show, which has been plagued recently by tumbling ratings and controversy. CURE was on the site of the show to display their opposition to what they call the unethical treatment of zombies. Stacey Forsyth, the leader of the Nevada branch of CURE, had this to say.
Let our government know we will not stand for their systematic neglect of the infected. We must take drastic action now.
Public opinion is mixed on the group's views, which are sometimes seen as radical.
This is a joke, right? Why would you want to save those things?
Stay tuned. Coming up right after the break, we've got weather and sports.
Doesn't feel very good, does it? I lost my family in Willamette. I'd rather just have them back. Hey, do you know where the green rooms are?
Yeah, take the elevator up a floor and then straight down the hallway. You can't miss it.
All right, so let's talk about Dead Rising 2 for a little bit here. It originally came out in 2010, you know, for the 360. You know what I'm saying? I played the original Dead Rising on 360 back in 06. It was one of the few games that actually 1,000 gamer scored or platinumed if you're on the PS3. And so naturally, I was fucking hype as fuck for Dead Rising 2, you know what I'm saying? Improved graphics engine, more zombos on screen, you know, things like that. And it was a really good time, you know, in my life at that, back in 10. And, you know, unfortunately, I only got the standard copy. In thinking about it in retrospect, I wish I got the collector's edition. The collector's edition was not even that much more expensive than the retail game. And the collector's edition actually gave you a cool little box up into including a little replica of the ZOMBREX medicine that people have to administer every fucking day if you've been bit by a zombo. So, yeah. What else? What I remember from Dead Rising 2 was the horrendous load times. Okay. Oh, before we get into that, let's go talk to baby girl Amber right here. You know what I'm saying? She's one of the sisters of the two. You know, good things come in pairs. Okay. And basically, what these bitches do is they continuously roast you. You know, these women are unattainable by the average man, even the above average man. But you know, that's just how it is. And yeah, so we're just gonna make our way here to the elevator and cue cutscene.
The ladies were a little disappointed in your performance tonight, Chuck. But you must get that a lot.
Good night, ladies.
Oh god! Oh god, she got me! She got me!
Damn. All right, so let's get into this. So as you can see, there's a huge graphical overhaul compared to the first one. One of the main things that I love about Dead Rising 2 and Dead Rising 2 Off the Record is the smarter AI. Because let me tell you guys something right now. The original Dead Rising, the first one, the AI was painfully frustrating.
Katey? Katey! Get off!
Go away!
Katey, it's me, it's Daddy.
It's happening again, isn't it? Like what happened with Mommy.
Shh, hey, Katey, listen to me. You need to stay calm, okay? We need to get out of here. So hang on tight.
So that's Katey, you know, Chuck Green's daughter. You know what I'm saying? Just right off the bat, you know what I'm saying? The main character in the second game is much more likable. You know, don't get me wrong. You know, Frank is my main dude. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely my top favorite character. But as far as like a general broad overview, Chuck is definitely more palatable to the average person because you know he's a dad. He's a nice dude, and he just wants to protect his daughter and his family, you know what I'm saying? So, right off the bat, much more, not as intense as Frank was in the first Dead Rising.
Oh no, not again.
Hold on tight, Katey. to take our chances in there, kiddo. It's gonna be okay now, Katey.
I can't get a signal. Why? Why can't I get a signal?
She was looking right at me and they had her and I couldn't do anything. She went down without a sound and I had to get out of there. I just ran. This is horrible.
Whoa. Hold on a second, son.
Listen, it's an existing condition, all right? It's okay, it happened a long time ago.
It's only a matter of time before she turns.
Hey, don't worry. I've got ZOMBREX.
Yeah, well, you better have a lot. Because there ain't none here, and the rescue ain't coming for 3 days.
3 days?
Yeah, the reserves will already be mobilizing. But their first priority is to quarantine the city, and that takes time. They'll enter the city at first light 3 days from now. That's the standard procedure.
So we're stuck here?
There's a couch in the security room. Why don't you take her in there? It's quieter.
Thanks.
Okay, first of all, how the fuck did this motherfucker notice that little bite, okay? That part, got me upset even back in the days when I saw that for the first time 10 years ago. At the time of this recording, back in 2010, like, come on, bruh.
We don't have any ZOMBREX, do we?
I was gonna get some. Right after the show. We still have time.
Where are you gonna get it, Dad?
You let me worry about that, okay, kiddo?
I know where you can get some.
How long have you been listening?
Don't worry. I won't say anything. There's a pharmacy in the Royal Flush Mall. I'm Stacy Forsythe, by the way.
I'm Chuck. And this is Katey. Do you know a way out of here?
No, but if you find one, I suggest you take this. That way we can keep in touch. There's closed-circuit cameras all over the city. These monitors are playback only, but I'll keep an eye on them. Chuck, if you find anyone alive out there...
I'll do what I can. Keep an eye on my daughter, okay?
Alright, what's really funny is I like how Katey has a PSP. I thought that was really interesting. Alright, so we're here. We just met Stacy. She is definitely a much... she's far less annoying than Otis was, who was basically our shot caller back in the first one. And what's cool about this safe room is it already has some survivors, and we have Lulu here. You know what I'm saying? Straight up the... straight up the Cindy Lennox of the shit, because she's got the Playboy bunny outfit. So here in the kitchen, in the very beginning part of the game, the kitchen will be stocked with orange juice, which has one of the highest healing percentages, just like any other Dead Rising, Okay, so after fucking 20 hours of cutscenes, let's fucking get into gameplay, guys. Okay, so one of the things that plagued the original version of Dead Rising 2 was the fucking horrendous load times. Let me tell you something right now. Like, these load times were like on the level like when Bloodborne first came out. We're talking like minutes long load times, and it was insane. It took Capcom a little while to release some patches to increase the load speed, and that even then it was still pretty long. That's why I prefer playing the PC version, because running it on an SSD, much faster load times. And I actually, at the time of this recording, I do plan to get a Xbox Series X and cop Dead Rising 2 and Off the Record for the even faster load times as well. So this store right here has skateboards, and skateboards in part 2 aren't as effective as they were in the first one. In terms of mobility and getting from point A to point B, the skateboard in the very first Dead Rising was unmatched, and you can see it here. I literally just bump into 2 zombies and the fucking skateboard is toast, So I pretty much don't use the skateboard in part 2, unless if I'm, running cheats or something like that. The durability with the skateboard is just absolute trash. And what Capcom did to, rectify that was give you access to cars, vehicles, in pretty much almost in every main area in the game. Here in this mall in particular, there is a drop-top sports car that you can purchase for about $250,000, and we'll actually get into how to make money the fastest and most efficient way a little bit later. But our first order of business here is to get some ZOMBREX for Katey, and you can see there on the right side it says ZOMBREX 0, meaning we don't have any. And there are ZOMBREX sprinkled throughout the game. You can actually buy them from pawn shops, and there's Playboy magazine right there back when it was good. You can buy them from pawn shops, but at a steep fucking price. So yeah, and just like every other Dead Rising, you have your little quality of life improvements here. You can change your clothes, literally wear anything you want. Well, not anything you want, whatever's provided to you by the game. And what's cool about these costumes is they persist through the cutscene. And if you've caught my Outbreak walkthroughs, I complain about that, how they don't persist through the cutscene. So yeah.
Old man. Exactly what I'm doing. I'm just here looking for some ZOMBREX.
Well, you're definitely gonna need some painkillers when I'm done with you.
Well, talking to you is giving me a headache.
Oh yeah? What say you give me some money, and I'll go get some for you?
Yeah, give us some money, Grandpa. We'll help you out.
How about it, Grandpa? You got any money?
Okay, so this is our first mini boss fight here. We have these three idiots here, the three stooges, and pretty much just lay waste to them with the sledgehammer. One single strike and then charge strike should pretty much do them in. And you get a pretty good amount of PP per kill, which is nice. Alright, so we got the pharmacy key, and we have our first survivor here. You know, Denise. And I want to talk about the AI in Dead Rising 2. So much better than the first one. Let me tell you something right now. The first one, the survivor AI is so frustratingly bad. Like, you would call out to survivors, they wouldn't follow you. You had to run specific lines within the map itself so that the AI pathing would sort of reset itself and follow you. The solution for AI in the first Dead Rising is to set waypoints, and even then sometimes it wouldn't work properly. So in Dead Rising 2, survivor AI, so much better. They actually listen to you. They're not as vulnerable as they were in the first one, which is nice. So less of a headache, less stress, and using waypoints actually works. So we're gonna give Denise, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna give her the fucking baseball bat, you know, like Birds of Prey style. And what's really cool about giving your survivors weapons is they have unlimited durability. Ideally, you would want to give your survivors a firearm, because they will have unlimited ammunition. And yeah, so we're just gonna make our way back to the safe room, because with each survivor that you meet, more than likely you will have to bring them back to the safe room, and you will get PP for that, prestige points. That's basically like EXP. And just like in all Dead Risings, the maximum level is 50, and you start at 1 when you begin a new fresh file. One thing that's really cool about Dead Rising 2 is it allowed you to have multiple new files, okay? Back in the day, for Dead Rising on the 360, you just had one file, man. That was it. You know, if you wanted to, you could restart the story, but then what was unique about Dead Rising is when you restart the story, you will start the new story with your current level. So let's say you power level to 25, you know, you feel that you're strong enough, you could restart the story from scratch to chapter 1, and you'd still be level 25. And of course, it would make the game much easier. That option wasn't available in Dead Rising, and shit sucked. You know, if you wanted to play a new game, you literally had to nuke your profile. And of course, if you had, you know, lots of unlockables and things like that, you don't want to get rid of that shit. So it was a little frustrating. And in part 2, you know, you were able to create 3 new files, which was really cool. In addition to that, the Dead Rising 2 introduced custom weapons, meaning items that you pick up throughout the game, you can combine them to create new weapons. And what's cool about the new weapons is it incentivizes the player to use them, because when you use special weapons on zombos, it will net gain you more PP per kill versus using vanilla weapons like this fucking crowbar that I'm using Half-Life style, right? And as you can see here, I'm gonna use a waypoint, okay? And Denise, she's gonna fucking be a good girl here and follow directions like a good AI. And basically what I'm doing now is I am trying to get as much PP as possible early in the game. And one of the cool things that you can do in Dead Rising 2 to gain PP much faster, that looks like a GameStop logo. One thing that you can do is bring back toys to Katey. And I don't have my list right now. I don't know off the top of my head which toys will work. one thing I do know is in these toy shops there are these giant stuffed animals, okay? And I know that all of them that exist here in the mall will work. And what's cool is when you bring these stuffed animals to Katey, you'll get about 15k of PP. And you know, in the first 10-15 levels, 15k or 10 to 15k PP is a lot, okay? So it's definitely worth it if you know, if you are a first-time player of this 10-year-old game at the time of this recording, this 10-year-old game, I would recommend taking some time and grabbing as much toys as possible and bringing them to Katey before your next scoop comes in, because the way that the scenarios are laid out in Dead Rising 2 is very similar. In fact, it's actually the same as Dead Rising, where, you know, Stacy will feed you scoops, okay, like, hey, this chick right here needs to be saved, or this dude is dying, go get him and bring him or her to the safe room for, you know, whatever, for PP. And here we go, we're gonna give Katey the toy, and what's cool is there's a little mini cutscene. You know, she's super stoked on it. And what's awesome is the toy will stay in the room. And there are tons of toys that you can bring her, and you'll see them all throughout the employee lounge area or the security room. So it's definitely worth it. And you can see I already hit level 2, and I'm literally almost to level 3. So now let's talk about the ZOMBREX here. So Katey needs her ZOMBREX administered every day between the hours of 7 and 8 a.m. So in between that, you will have to manage your time wisely. If you push T on the keyboard, if you're playing on PC, you know, Chuck will open up his watch and you can look at the time, making sure that you're on point and managing your scoops. I'm not sure if they call it scoops anymore in Dead Rising 2. It's, you know, it's been a while. And so basically what I'm doing right now is just killing time. And that's pretty much what you do sometimes when you complete objectives fairly quickly in this game. It gives you time to do other things than just the scoops. So basically what Past Me is doing right now is I am, you know, trying not to get eaten by these zombos. As you can see, there's a lot of zombies on screen, which is at the time a huge technical leap. And so I'm just gonna grab these stuffed animals, okay, and I'm just gonna bring them back one by one to Katey. So the first one that's up here is the pink elephant. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about the zombos here in Dead Rising 2 is they aren't as aggressive as they were in the first one. My guess is because the zombos in Part 2 are far more detailed and have more polygons than the OG versions of Dead Rising zombos. And what's interesting about the zombo placement and pathing in Dead Rising 2 is, to me, it seems much easier to get around the zombos. They create rifts and openings for you to run through. You know, think of yourself as like a you know, a running back for a football team. Most famously, you know, Emmitt Smith over at the you know, Dallas Cowboys. You just basically if you watch and study the movement of the zombos, they will create openings for you. And one of the things that I recommend you do if you're cutting in between zombos is jumping. And you'll see me do that here when we go back outside. So, you know, I checked my watch here. You know, we still have some time, okay, to go out and do things. And I think what Past Me is going to do now is we are going to head over to the far end of the mall, okay, on the second floor, because there will be another toy shop there, and there should be another giant stuffed animal, and in addition to that, other stores that are not necessarily children's stores actually have those giant stuffed animals, like in the fucking display window, like, you know, where the mannequins are and whatnot. You can actually go there and grab that and bring it back to Katey, and she'll be good. As you can see here, I'm just jumping around. You know, you just gotta create some movement here, or create some openings, make space here. Unfortunately, I was a little too slow there, because, you know, the recovery time on that climb animation. And so basically what I'm looking for in here are other toys that I can bring to Katey. And I think that past me is looking for a bag of marbles, if I remember correctly. And there's that Zombo right there, just all up in my grill. So it's looking like this toy store does not have the bag of marbles. I know that bag of marbles is one of the toys you can bring Katey, as well as a horse pole. It's like this really old school toy where, like, you know, it's like a pole with a horse head at the end of the pole, and, you know, you just put the pole between your legs and just pretend that you're galloping like on a fucking horse. You know, old school toys like that. So, and you can see I'm here going through the children's clothes shop, and, you know, you gotta constantly check the time, making sure you're on time. I mean, you'll see this. You can clearly see the scoops right there on the right side. Katey will need ZOMBREX, and, you know, when that shit is reaching red, you know, as the meters is counting down, getting smaller and smaller, that's pretty much your cue to fucking book it. You know what I'm saying? So we have some time here, okay? And, you know, again, I mentioned the skateboard. The skateboard was very, very effective in Dead Rising. I wish it was as effective in Dead Rising 2, but again, I think I mentioned this earlier in the commentary that you know, you get access to cars, so, you know, you don't really need to worry too much about that. But you know, I like to bring back the old school shit with the skateboards. And what's interesting here on the second floor, there's actually a hidden item that you can get here. It's a ninja suit. I think I get that a little bit later. Not sure about it. I'm not sure if I do it in this episode. And we have this ATM here. Okay, it's a really good way to get some quick cash if you need it. You know, that's 2,500 hundo right there. You know, I just netted $5,000 because money is you need money in this game, especially if you want to buy ZOMBREX. You need to have cash, straight up. So we have another toy store here, and next to the toy store there is a children's clothing shop. And you can see that little tricycle there I can ride. And okay, so here's one of the toys here, the stick pony. Looks like past me did not grab it. Let's see how long it'll take for me to realize that we actually need that. I'm really committed to that fucking bag of marbles. There's $200 on the floor. There you go. Okay. So it's looking like I came to my senses here, and I grabbed the stick pony, and looks like past me's trying to think if I already grabbed that fucking pink elephant. Not too sure if I did or not, but then I have this guy right here, the donkey. So we're just gonna grab the donkey, and we're gonna head on back to the safe room, deliver the donkey, as well as give Katey the ZOMBREX. And as you can see, these zombos are annoying the fuck out of me. And the animation for picking up the stuffed animal is so insane. Like, it's as if Chuck is picking up, you know, as if Chuck is like Atlas and he's trying to lift the world. It's like, it's a fucking giant stuffed animal, Chuck. Come on, dude. Like, come on, let's go. So one of the scary things about, and to the right there is the jewelry shop. you can actually make what's called a lightsaber. We'll get into that a little bit later as we progress through this game here. So one of the scary things about, and as you can see here, the zombos are creating openings for me. What's really cool about the PC version is you get to use the mouse, so you get to kind of play around with the camera angles. Slightly tilting it up like that allows you to see these openings, so you can run and jump in between zombos. So back to what I was saying about the stuffed animal here is, what's scary about the stuffed animal is if it gets smacked by a zombo, you know, more than 2 to 3 times, the item will despawn and you will have to go back and grab another one, because these items have a life bar. You know, they have durability. And I've been in situations where I'm road running a giant fucking stuffed animal, and some shit pile zombo smacks me, and it creates this compounding effect, and the zombo next to him smacks me, and then this zombo chick smacks me, and the stuffed animal despawned. And then I had to run back to the store, grab another bear. I ran out of time. Katey dies. Not fun, you know? So yeah, so that's basically all the business that you can do here in the very beginning of the game. It's quick PP, you know what I'm saying? Just get as many toys as possible and bring it back to your beautiful daughter here, you know what I'm saying? Just to raise her spirits. There you go. Look at that. I'm already almost level 5. Okay, so that's actually really good. As you can see, it's about 4 minutes till 7 o'clock. So, you know, I'm probably just going to kill some time here. Maybe grab another OJ. I'm not sure. And I have my COVID mask on, you know. So, in case you are watching this in the future, at the time of this recording, COVID-19 is still wreaking havoc on the planet. So I thought it was pretty appropriate that I'm wearing this mask here. When we have Lulu, you know, Cindy's sister, just chilling there. Just like her sister, getting into some crazy situations with zombos. And yeah, so now that it's blinking, the Give Katey ZOMBREX, we can go in there and administer the ZOMBREX.
Hey, honey. I told you I'd get some ZOMBREX.
See, that wasn't so bad, Dad.
You sure are Daddy's girl.
Look, Dad, I got a new power in Mega Man.
And there we go, a nice little moment between Chuck and his daughter, and we finished the first scoop. So yeah, I think I want to end the episode here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. Later.